What's up, Chris Ryan Fitness fam? I have an absolutely fantastic short 15-minute strength total body beginner level class here today for us. We're going to need a lighter pair of dumbbells, haven't pitched off to the side for the time being. We're going to spend the next few minutes here getting nice and loose, primed and warmed on up before we tackle those weights here today. So let's go right on after it. Plant those feet firmly just outside those hips, weights to the heels, knees slightly soft, palms facing down towards the ground, and start crisscrossing those arms, left over right, right over left you go, back and forth. So tall open chest. And then turn those palms face down up. Keep those arms swinging. Open up through the pecs a little bit more right there. And then clap those hands up to the base of the neck. Just kind of throw those elbows high over those shoulders. So you start targeting through the triceps and through those lats down here. Nice and tall chest. We go for 2 and 1. Excellent work. Toes pointed directly forward. Feet under center line of those hips now. You're going to go into a good morning position. Knees are soft. You're going to open up those hamstrings. Push your butt back as far as you can. Look towards the ground. Now squeeze your glutes tight and push hard through those heels. I'm going to show you a few different angles on this one, as well as several different exercises here today, just to make sure you got that form locked on in. Excellent work right there. Now what I'd like you to do, find assistance of a wall if you need. If not, you can do it freestanding position. You're going to start out with that right leg, go up, rotate that foot out wide, pop in, step the foot back towards me, do a couple reps just like so, and you're going to go the opposite way, out to in, out to in. Excellent, excellent work. I'm going to do it. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it with assistance of the wall too, just as you have it. So it's up and out, up and out, and then out to in, out to in. There we go. Feeling good, right? And then the last one, we're just going to go into one single squat, down, chest up, nice, tall and proud, deep squat, hold for 3, 2, 1. Press hard through those heels. The knees track up over those toes in the squats, of course, and the chest remains up nice and high. The first movement that we're going to do out of the gate is a sumo squat. Light dumbbells into our hands, feet wide now. Nice wide sumo stance position. Toes turned out about 30 degrees. Eyes are forward, chest is up. You're going to take those DBs down towards the ground, and you're going to push those feet strong through the ground as much as you can. So your chest remains up nice and proud, hips going back and down as much as possible, targeting through the inner thighs right there. There we go, through the glutes as much as possible. Knees pushing out up over those toes. Knuckles are pointed straight down towards the ground. Thumbs pointed forward. But the whole time, my shoulder blades are retracted back and down. What I'm not doing is rolling the shoulders forward, looking towards the ground, or being weak in the knees in any way. So down and back. Tall chest. Squeezing those glutes tight. Pulling the pelvis through. Up at that top side as much as possible. Excellent, excellent work right there, everybody. Sitting that booty down and back. And then pulling through. Up at that top side, working all the way for 3, for 2, last rep, best rep, and 1. Front squat, calf raise. Front squat means that the load of the weight will be on our front deltoids right here. Elbows are going to be punching forward, feet just outside those hips now. So you walk those feet on in, down we go, squat, push hard through those heels, stand tall on those tippy toes, raise the heels up off the ground for a second or two, and then down we go into that squat position again. Elbows are going to come just on the insides of those knees, pressing as hard as you can through the ball of the foot, working open those calves, getting those ankles strong along the way. And of course, practicing that bounce control at the top. Making sure, though, as you stand up from that squat, you are squeezing your glutes hard, pushing through those heels as much as possible, and then driving through the ball of the foot. Down, and then right back on up we go. Excellent, excellent work. Down, right back on up for 3, for 2, and 1. Reverse slide time. Targeting the upper body right here with a little static hold in that posterior chain. Knuckles punched in together, palms facing in towards your sternum. Feet a little wider in the hips. Hinge at the hips so you're looking down towards the ground. You're going to squeeze those elbows back, punch those elbows back behind the shoulders, working through the upper mid-back position as much as you can. Punch them on back, flexing the back as much as possible. Notice I'm looking towards the ground about 5 feet or so out in front of me. I'm not bent over all the way, but I'm not standing tall either. Bent over about quarter position, punching the elbows back. The hips are behind those knees. Eyes are down towards the ground. Elbows bent the whole way through. 2 muscles between your shoulder blades called the rhomboids. I want you to think about squeezing those shoulder blades together as much as you can, acting like the rhomboids are wet sponges, and you're just trying to wring those sponges dry here today. There we go. Back and forth. Smiles on those faces. Grip strength on point. Pulling those DBs back strong for 2 and 1. Excellent job right there. Curl with that hammer turn up at the top. What that means, elbows out in front, curling those wrists on in about 10 degrees to start on out, eyes forward, chest up. Curl up 3/4 of the way, turn those palms facing on in towards one another, and then open on up, and then go back down, slow and controlled. There you go. Hit it on home. 3/4 of the way up, turn those palms on in, turn them on up, and then take it down. Again, excellent, excellent work right there. Wrist engaged the whole way through, slow and controlled all the way. Chin parallel to the ground, abs are tight, butt is tight the whole way through. Down, right back on up. Press hard through your heels, keep your butt tight, your abs tight, and that sweaty smile on that face here today. Excellent, excellent work. Less than 10 seconds to go. A couple more reps. Down and in. Let's go for one more. Come on, you got it covered here today. For 3, for 2, and 1. Reverse lunge time. Farmer carry style position. Shoulder blades retracted back and down. You're going to take that right leg back first and press hard through that left foot. The front knee pushes out over the front toe. Bend that back knee down and in towards the ground. Stabilization and balance control of utmost importance on this one. Pressing as hard as you can through that front heel. Down and in. So you're loaded through the hips, not that front knee. What I want you to do is press as hard as you can through that front heel. So you're feeling the engagement here through the glute and the hip, as well as here through that front quadricep. The back toe is serving as a kickstand position would be on a bike. You're not necessarily trying to push off of that back toe like a sprinter start, right? I want you to think loaded through that front foot, specifically through the heel and the midsole of that foot. Tall chest, arms straight, pushing those knuckles down and in towards the ground, flexing those triceps the whole way through. Toe tap under center, regather your thoughts. Toe tap under center, regather up at the top side for 2, 1. Quickly switch. Now you're going to start out with that left leg back and down. Eyes are going to be forward the whole way through. Left leg back, down, stand tall. Left leg back and down, stand nice and tall up at the top. There we go. Excellent, excellent work. Pressing as hard as you can through that right foot, working that hip as much as possible. Working it long and strong the whole way through. Eyes are forward the whole time. And make sure as you come back up that you're coming through with the feet under center line of your hips. What we want to avoid is stepping back in that same position, but then coming through at the top side as if you're walking a tightrope and the feet have magnets attached to them, right? We shouldn't come back through so where the feet are so close together. Feet hip width apart at all times. Step back from that position, step forward from that position. Step back and then step forward. Making sure that you load under the center of your mass as much as possible. Center of your mass are your hips and your core and your torso. Working it. 20 more seconds to go, everybody. Down and in we go. Linear line in that spine, the ear, shoulder, and hip the whole way through. 10 more seconds to light it on up. Our strongest selves, our best selves. Oh yeah, before we take it down on the ground to take us on home here today. 2 and 1. Dumbbells can go on the ground. You're coming down with me as well. Dumbbells will rest here on this one, but you're not. You're coming down for some hip thrust action. Heels down, knees bent, head rests on the ground, toes flexed up to the sky. Slight extended chin position so the ankle's out in front of that knee. Kick those hips off the ground as high as possible. Thrust the hips up to the sky. Hold for 1,001, 1,002. Slow control, bring your butt back to the ground. As soon as your butt hits the ground, immediately squeeze that backside as hard as you can. 2 count, hold up at the top side. Slow control down. Thrust those hips on up. Squeeze that backside. Lighten on up here today in the best way, everybody. Eyes are up towards the ceiling. Big sweaty smile on that face here. Working that backside position as much as possible. Flexing those glutes the whole time. Oh yeah, feeling good. Feeling strong here today. Excellent work for 3, 2, last rep, best rep, 1. Awesome work. Barrel presses. Dumbbells coming back on out. You're going to stay on your backside right here. And what we're going to do is you're going to have your knees bent. You're going to act like you're hugging a big barrel, wrapping your arms around the barrel, pressing those knuckles inward towards one another, and the elbows bent the whole way through. Squeeze those elbows down south of the shoulder, north of the hip, pulling the elbows down, using your back muscles to pull your elbows down, and then squeezing through the front side position, the pecs, biceps on the way up. And then once again, the knuckles should be pointed inward towards each other at the top side of that barrel press. The palms should be facing down towards your sternum as if you were hugging a barrel, right? Wrapping your arms around that barrel, full grip on those DB handles the whole way through, lighting up their forearms as well with that grip strength on point, back and forth, slow and controlled. Flex those pecs, flex those biceps, baby. 2, and last one, pull it on down, rack pull time, we go. This one is awesome. You're going to be lying on your back, targeting the undercarriage of the arms and that back. Wrist over the elbows, elbows at the base of the ribs. Squeeze those handles tight, press those dumbbells backward behind your head until they touch the ground. Immediately pull the elbows back to the base of the ribs in that original starting position. The wrists and the elbows will always be in alignment with one another on this movement. We're going back and forth, nice and strong the whole way through. You got to grip those handles though on this one. You got to be loose in the grip strength at all. You don't want those dumbbells to fall on your body or your face or your chest, shoulders. You want to keep that grip strength on point, but also you're going to help support that elbow joint by keeping that grip strength on point. That will help load the muscles in the first place rather than the joints themselves. Remember, we want to work the muscles strong, get the joints healthy, but not put undue stress on the joints because our muscles are relaxed. For 2, last rep, best rep, 1. Oh, yeah. Dumbbells off to the side. Dead bugs to take us on through. Everybody, let's go. Head rested on the ground. You're going to kick your knees up over the top side of the hips, reaching those fingertips up to the sky. Spread those fingers as wide as you can and actively reach those fingertips up over your shoulders. Ribs pushing in towards those hips, belly button down to the tailbone, and just breathe right here. I want you to think that lower third of your back compressing down to the ground because your abs are so tight. There we go. Holding that position. Now, if you want, we're going to step it up a little bit on this position to a full dead bug extension with the arm and the opposite leg. Start out with that left arm, right leg. Extend out all the way back on in. That's good, right? If you can't and you feel like your form starts to falter, you start collapsing in, you get a little sloppy, hold the tightest dead bug possible in that nice strong position the whole way through. Now switch it up to that right arm, left leg. If you're doing that movement, back and forth. But once again, if you're holding that position, you are still going to get those abs working hard as possible in the first place. Just keep squeezing, keep flexing, keep that core stabilized as much as possible. Slow and controlled extensions if you're following that pattern. Amazing, amazing work. Less than 10 seconds. Lighting up that core here today. Love it. For 3, for 2. Finish up the pairing. And 1. Reverse crunch time. Hands on the ground just outside those hips to finish it on home. Knees bent. Pull those knees on in towards your chest. Tailbone looks up towards the sky a little bit. But the goal, squeezing those abs and your abs only right here. Pulling those knees on in, squeezing and flexing that core hard as you can. Head is resting on the ground, everybody. Sweaty smiles on those faces here today. Working those abs the whole way through, back and forth, all the way. Come on, squeeze and flex those abdominals a little harder, a little longer. 20 more seconds to go. Getting it done here today. Your best self, your strongest self. As always, on Chris Ryan Fitness, everybody. There we go. Knees on up. Abs a little tighter. A little longer. Come on, light up that core here today. Head stays resting on the ground. Abs stay tight. For 3, for 2. Last rep, best rep, and 1. All righty. Dishes are done, baby. Set those DBs off to the side. Let's get you stretched right on out. But first of all, most importantly of all, stand tall, stand proud, and get that big old sweaty smile on your face. Get those arms on up, flex them if you got them. Absolutely awesome work here today. As always, on Chris Ryan Fitness, everybody. You came, you saw, you conquered. You learned a ton along the way in just 15 minutes time. Think about it. All those movements, starting out from the top side position, taking it down on the ground, working your body in a whole host of new exercises the whole way through. That's good stuff. Take that left leg up over that right. Cup those elbows up, end over end. Heavy, relaxed elbows dragging you down and in towards your knees, mid-shin position, down towards those toes. Stretching out the hamstrings, lumbar spine. For 2, 1. Switch it up. Right over left we go. Downtown. Knees nearly straight. Hammies open for business. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly stand up. See you next time on Chris My Fitness, everybody. Great job here today.